What's up, Psychedelic Spotlight? I'm James, and I'd like to welcome you to the Psych Business Roundup. To start, we're going to be looking at MindMed, who announced that Bruce Linton, once a major shareholder who sat on the board of directors, has stepped down from the role, effective immediately. This follows him selling most of his shares in the company earlier this year, and it also follows fellow top dog J.R. Ron, then CEO, resigning from the company. So, what does this all mean? Is the sky falling? Well, there are two ways to look at it. First, obviously, it's never good to see insiders selling shares and leaving a company which is supposedly supposed to have a very bright future. Regardless of the facts of the matter, it leaves a bitter taste in your mouth. However, on the flip side, the only thing that is ever constant is change, and of course, that applies to companies as well. If you look at the team of scientific advisors and scientists that they have built over the past year, then it is easy to stomach the departure of a couple of business executives. Plus, Linton is being replaced by two capable business executives, including Miss Carol Vallon, who is the chair of the board of trustees at McLennan Hospital, an affiliate of Harvard Medical School. So, talent comes and talent goes. Either way, I'm not particularly worried about this, though I do wish that this had been communicated better and maybe planned out over the course of a couple months rather than just announced abruptly. Next up, we're going to be looking at a new study that took adults who were abused as children, for example, physically, emotionally, and sexually, and as a result had post-traumatic stress symptoms and internalized shame. Then, they looked at whether or not these people improved after taking psychedelics for the stated use of taking them therapeutically. Amazingly, they found that those who took psychedelics did, in fact, report lower stress and internalized shame levels. Even more exciting is that these benefits may be more pronounced with repeated use. For example, the group that reported the overall lowest levels of internalized shame and complex trauma symptoms was the group that had used psychedelics with therapeutic intent more than 5 times. Taking this data at face value, it does seem to be positive news for the thesis that psychedelics can help treat mental health conditions. However, we do need to remember the limitations of this study. There was a small and non-diverse sample size, volunteers were self-reporting, and there was no control group. Finally, it is impossible not to comment on the rapidly shifting culture when it comes to psychedelics. It wasn't too long ago that drugs like LSD and magic mushrooms were considered in our cultural zeitgeist to be addictive, near-evil substances that should be feared lest they destroy our society. Now, almost a week doesn't go by without a new psychedelic-inspired cultural hit or a beloved celebrity talking about how beneficial psychedelics can be. For example, Hulu's new hit series, 9 Perfect Strangers, revolves around a wellness retreat that uses psychedelics and audiences can't get enough. Or take Elon Musk, who recently said this.
I think generally people should be open to psychedelics. A lot of people making laws are kind of from a different era. So I think as the new generation gets into political power, I think we'll see greater receptivity to the benefits of psychedelics.
If Musk isn't your cup of tea, take Will Smith, who recently opened up about taking DMT in the form of an ayahuasca drink to help him out of a life funk. Speaking of the brew, Smith said, "This was my first tiny taste of freedom. In my 50-plus years on this planet, this is the unparalleled greatest feeling I've ever had." The point I am trying to make, to quote Bob Dylan, is the times, they are a-changing. Psychedelics can help people, and now we know that psychedelics can help people. And if it takes a few celebrities and a few Hulu specials to get the word out, then I am all here for that. I'm James from the Psychedelic Investor, and I will see you next time.